For your information, there's a lot more to ogres than people think.
Example?
Example? Okay, ogres are like onions.
They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry?
No.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs.
No! Layers! Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
Oh, you both have layers. Oh. You know, not everybody like onions.
This presentation is on the social penetration theory. This theory explains differences in communication in relation to the depth of interpersonal relationships. Developed in 1973 by psychologists Arwin Altman and Dalmas Taylor, the theory states that relationships begin and deepen through self-disclosure. In the beginning, people establish relationships by disclosing many simple, harmless facts through small talk. As relationships grow, the rate of self-disclosure slows while the facts disclosed become increasingly intimate in nature. Intimate self-disclosure allows others to penetrate a person's public persona and discover his or her innermost self. Relationships stagnate when the people involved refuse to self-disclose. Thus, self-disclosure can end as relationships do too. There are 5 stages of the social penetration theory: orientation phase stage, exploratory affective stage, stable stage, and lastly, depenetration stage. This presentation will go through each of the stages and explain how they relate to the social penetration theory and explain how self-disclosure is evolved and can devolve.
The first stage is the orientation stage, also known as the small talk or first impression stage. In this stage, communicators become acquainted by observing mannerisms and personal dress, and also by exchanging non-intimate information about themselves. This stage in communication is usually at a superficial level, and people are cautious about revealing too much information about themselves to another person. Therefore, their behavior is guided by a social desirability and norms of appropriateness.
Hi.
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 Andy Anderson.
Benjamin Barry.
Cute.
Thank you.
I meant your name.
Thank you 2 times.
Unattached.
Currently.
Likewise.
Surprising.
Psycho.
Rarely. Interested?
Perhaps.
Hungry?
Starving.
Leaving?
Now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
1 second.
I'll meet you at the door.
The next stage in social penetration is the exploratory affective stage. In this stage, individuals will begin having conversations where they'll share more than just biographical information, using less caution while they self-disclose. They begin to develop a deeper sense of trust and a willingness to communicate. Topics of conversation will widen and focus mostly on the situation or how they met. For example, if 2 acquaintances meet at a college football game, they will most likely talk about what teams they support, whether they played football themselves, or how often they watch football games. During conversation in this stage, people's personalities come to light as they begin to express their opinions and beliefs. It is always a possibility that one may lie at this stage to enhance their personal image or make it seem as if they have a lot in common. People in this stage are generally referred to as acquaintances, and many relationships tend not to go past this stage. Here's an example of what a conversation in this stage would look like.
You know what? I want to live here.
Actually, I still have some questions. I mean, like, no offense, but we barely know you.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, full disclosure, I'm kind of emotional right now because of the breakup, so I'll probably be watching Dirty Dancing at least 6 or 7 times a day. I'm a teacher, so I bring home a lot of popsicle sticks, stuff like that. Also, I like to sing to myself a lot. A lot.
On request, Jess tells her new apartment mates about herself. including where she works and how she sings to herself from time to time. Through this, her housemates are able to understand more about her and paint a rough image about her personality, which will help them decide whether they will get along if they decided to let her live there.
After the exploratory affective stage is the affective stage. In this stage, communicators begin to disclose personal and private matters. The language used during conversation changes with the use of idioms and unconventional language. As the communicators begin to feel more comfortable with one another, a tendency of arguing or criticizing each other may begin. In this stage, relationships grow and may even result in a romantic relationship. Here is a clip from New Girl to show an example of the affective stage.
Oh my God, Schmidt is so scary. You were right.
We have to talk about the things that he could use to pull us apart, okay? Okay, politics. You're a Democrat. I've never
I'm in the Green Party.
Oh, that is so annoying.
Okay, I have been banned for my lifetime from Lake Ontario. Don't ask.
Okay, what else do you have?
My fear of pears
Okay, you're afraid of pears?
and pear-shaped people.
That's interesting. I'm not convinced I know how to read. I've just memorized a lot of words.
The doctors say I might grow another 18 inches.
That's a different image of you, but I'm gonna get past that, and I'm past it. Okay, the moon landing, which is obviously fake.
No, it's not obviously
No, that's
fake.
actually not what
Are you
The moon landing is
crazy?
definitely fake, by the way.
The
It's
moon
100%
landing's not-
fake. The
what?
shadows are off.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. I've looked at photos on the internet and it
Yeah,
proves it.
Nick,
The
that's...
shadows are off. The shadows are off. The
Shadows
shadows
not.
are off. The
Well,
shadows
those
are off.
photos are Photoshopped.
That's not true.
People do that as a joke.
Oh, yeah,
to
you can just
trick stupid
Photoshop
people.
stuff. No,
Wait a
that's
minute. He's doing it already. He's getting in our heads.
Unbelievable. Good call.
Okay, this is good. Let's keep going.
I totally
Let's keep
agree.
going.
Okay, totally agree.
I kind of want to get a gun.
I'm definitely sexually attracted to ladybugs.
Okay.
I prefer the Kill Barn Daily Show. I think it's the best one. I know that you're really into Yes, it is. He's very charming.
I'm weirdly good at volleyball.
I believe horses are from outer space.
I believe that too.
Okay, good.
After the affective stage comes the stable stage. This is when, after several stages of growth in the relationship has now reached a plateau. The communication in this stage is characterized by being very continuous, familiar, and comfortable. In the stable stage, honesty and intimacy are at their highest, and thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are openly expressed. Furthermore, people whose relationships have made it to this stage are easily able to predict one another's behavior and emotional reactions to certain types of information. Generally, one does not maintain many relationships that are at this stage. Examples of relationships in the stable stage are romantic relationships, close friends, and close family members. Here's an example of the stable stage from the TV show Gilmore Girls, in which a mother and daughter duo are very synchronized and know each other's habits and behaviors perfectly.
Mom!
The next stage of the social penetration theory is the last stage. It comes after the stable stage, and it's called the depenetration stage. Depenetration is a gradual process of layer by layer withdrawal. It can be a warm friendship between two people that slowly start to deteriorate as they begin to close off areas of their lives that have earlier been opened. It can also be relational. It can be a relational retreat that takes back of what has earlier been exchanged in the building of their relationship. Relationships are usually likely to break down, not in an explosive argument or with a lot of fights or tension, but it's a more gradual cooling off of enjoyment and care. It's a mutually exclusive decision that the costs outweigh the benefits. Thus, depenetration occurs when one or both communicators perceive that the cost of self-disclosure outweigh its benefits. The communicators withdraw from self-disclosure, thus ending the relationship. It's not an explosive thing where the relationship blows up or they hate each other. It's more of a calm, mutual ending as the communicators and the people in the relationship, whether it be romantic or a friendship, decide that they're starting to close up and the costs of self-disclosure outweigh the benefits and the rewards. So the relationship ends. As you can see from this video clip, a demonstration of depenetration in the social penetration theory.
Why is this so hard? I don't want to fight all the time.
I don't know either. It's awful. Do you ever miss when we were just friends, Jess? And there wasn't this pressure to be together and to be
different people?
Yes, be different people. I'm sorry, but I'm not that guy who's going to put the toy together. That's just not me. I'm the kind of guy who's going to leave it in the box.
I don't want you to be that guy. I want you to be yourself.
I want you to be yourself.
Are we?
No. I love you.
Well, I love you too.
More than I've ever loved anybody.
But what if that's the only thing we have in common?
I miss my friend.
I really miss my friend too.
So what does that mean? Are we...
Yeah.
There are many factors that can affect the amount one self-discloses to the person they are communicating with. These factors may also be called barriers. Some barriers are gender, race, religion, personality, social status, and ethnic background. For example, those who come from different religious backgrounds may hesitate to share their thoughts or concerns about matters of faith. Also, some men may not express deep emotions out of fear due to social stigma. Barriers can slow the rate of self-disclosure and even prevent relationships from forming. The more dissimilar two people are, the less likely they will be to self-disclose.